Big Liverpool exits potentially on the cards this summer transfer window. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around a few big stories that are buzzing around the world of football in regards to certain Liverpool players who could be on the verge of leaving the club this transfer window. In this video, we're going to be centering it around Andy Robertson, Darwin Nunez and Ibrahima Konate, all of whom have had big reports come out about them over the course of the weekend and beyond about how they could be leaving Liverpool in this transfer window. We're going to be talking about what the reports are saying. I'm giving my personal take on each and every single one of these stories and players. But before we get into all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comments section down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about each of these stories. Your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure will make for great and interesting reading down below. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people. And without further ado, we're going to get involved with the conversation ourselves. We're talking Andy Robertson, Ibrahima Konate, Darwin Nunez, and potential exits from Liverpool this summer. Look, I've predicted all season long that this could be a huge and monumental transfer window ahead for Liverpool Football Club with a lot of activity. Not just in terms of incomings, of course, but in terms of outgoings as well. And so far, I've proven to be right. So far, Liverpool have signed a new goalkeeper. I know that was a year in advance, but obviously the new goalkeeper will be coming in this summer. They've also signed a certain Jeremy Frimpong as a replacement for a certain Trent Alexander-Arnold, and they are seemingly on the verge of signing both Milos Kerkez, a brand new shiny left back, and of course making a monumental wave in this transfer window and a groundbreaking, earth-shattering move for a certain Florian Wirtz, both of whom are seemingly pending official confirmation, but will be wrapped up seemingly in due time. But it's not just about the revamp in terms of incomings, but also in terms of outgoings as well. We've already seen Trent leave, of course. Kieran Kelleher has also left for Brentford, and there are seemingly more stories emerging about how Liverpool are going for a bit of a clear out of their current squad, with these three players in particular seemingly leading the charge. We're going to start with Andy Robertson, who reports emerged over the weekend that he could be interested in a move away to Atletico Madrid. Now, of course, Atletico Madrid, Spanish side under Diego Simeone, have seemingly emerged as a frontrunner to take Andy Robertson off of Liverpool's hands. I've been saying a lot this season that I think we needed to address the left-back situation, and buying Milos Kerkez is a fantastic way to begin repairing, reinforcing and strengthening that particular position on the pitch. And I've been saying that for a while. Certain Liverpool players are either not in Arne Slot's plans or have passed their use-by date, and I think Andy Robertson fits into the category of a player who has passed his use-by date. I don't want to sound disrespectful to arguably one of the biggest bargain signings of the Premier League of all time, or of football in its entirety of its history. Because, let's face it, when we signed Andy Robertson, he cost about £8 million. Or, you could say, cost one Kevin Stewart, who weeks after we signed Andy Robertson, left Liverpool for Hull for roughly the same fee. Maybe a little less, but arguably still a massive bargain for a player who has won everything that there is to win at Liverpool in the form of the Scottish left back. He's been absolutely phenomenal. He's been a wonderful servant for Liverpool. He was instantly taken to the hearts of many Liverpool fans with his early performances for the club when he first debuted. Still remember him charging on his own at the Manchester City defence, even though it was very late on in the game. He emerged from his left-back position to be the most advanced player on the pitch at the time in order to try and win the ball back for Liverpool. And that is obviously going to win you in good stead and good favour with the Liverpool faithful when you show how committed you are. And, you know, Andy Robertson and committed fit like a glove. So it was wonderful to see him perform. It was wonderful to see how incredible he was when he first came to Liverpool, and there was a large period of time where he was arguably the best left back on the planet. And we will never forget the goals he scored, the assists he created, the performances he put in, and of course, how much he loved to wind up opposition fans, supporters, and of course players alike with some of his antics on the pitch. Every player has them, and every fan hates them when they're not on your team. Thank God Andy Robertson was on our team. He was absolutely wonderful at doing that. And like I say, for a period of time, he was the best left back on the planet. He was absolutely outstanding, and we loved every single minute of having Robertson in our team. However, things do move on in football. Things do change, and I think what we're seeing right now is the winds of change happen for Robertson, because, as I said, I just think he's past his use-by date. He's not been the same kind of player that he has been during his prime for the past couple of years. He's not exactly getting any younger. He's 31 years of age. He'll be 32 by the end of next season. And he's, of course, entering the final year of his contract. And I think for Robertson in particular, maybe he's looking at wanting a new challenge towards the end of his career. He's already won everything that there is to win with Liverpool. He's obviously not going to be the main man at left back anymore. That's clear and obvious by the way that we have gone for Kerkez. I would have thought that if there is potentially a future with Andy Robertson going forward with Liverpool, he won't obviously be the full-time first choice left back. He will obviously have to play a bit part, but his experience, his know-how, and of course the fact that he's still got a bit of an engine on him from that left back position will of course work wonders for being squad depth and squad rotation. But it does seem like Atletico Madrid, if reports are to be believed from a certain Fabrizio Romano in particular, are very keen in taking him off of Liverpool's hands and giving him a sort of final few years of his career potentially in Spain, if things are to work out like that. For me, this could be a very good move for Robertson. It could be a very good move for Liverpool. It could be a very good move all round for all parties involved. And I'm very intrigued to see what will happen going forward. Especially when you consider that, in my opinion, I thought Tsimikas would be the one to leave. I didn't know if we were going to be selling both Tsimikas and Robertson. With obviously bringing in a new left back. I knew one of them would at least be leaving. I would have put my money more so on Tsimikas leaving. However, if Robertson now leaves, does that mean that we sell Tsimikas as well? He reportedly has been attracting interest from different parties from across the Premier League and from across Europe. So it's going to be interesting to see if we do get rid of him as well, or whether or not this is just going to be a sort of bit part thing in which maybe we actually now keep Tsimikas as backup for Kerkez still. Is he going to be okay with another season of being the backup left back? We'll obviously have to wait and see on that. Or are we going to get rid of both? Maybe go into the market for another left back? Or maybe we've got another left back emerging from our academy. I'm not sure how highly rated Arne Slot rates certain members of the academy. So it's going to be interesting to see what does happen with Tsimikas as well as Robertson going forward. Are the reports linking him with a move to Atletico genuine? We'll obviously wait and see on that, but that is obviously the big news that has been emerging over the weekend on the Scottish left back. Another player that's been attracting a lot of interest seemingly is Darwin Nunez. Of course, we know that Nunez, seemingly his time is up at Liverpool. We know that obviously he doesn't seemingly fit in with Arne Slot's plans, and it seems like Liverpool are wanting to get rid of him. The Uruguayan striker has seemingly been attracting a lot of interest from Saudi, as well as being linked and constantly linked to that with a move to Serie A with Napoli, and of course a move to La Liga with Atletico. So he could be joining Andy Robertson if obviously things are to pan out there in what could be a double swoop for Diego Simeone's side. Look, it's unfortunate. I keep saying this. It's unfortunate the way that this has worked out for Nunez. It hasn't quite panned out exactly how we were planning when, of course, we splashed the cash on the, at the time, Benfica striker. But again, it's his consistency and composure in front of goal that has been his main issue. I like Nunez as the kind of chaotic striker that he is. I've always found that there's always been something about him that has been likable. I can't fault his passion. I can't fault anything along those lines. And his overall package as a player is not completely terrible. And I do think that if he was to go to, with all due respect to these kinds of clubs that are seemingly interested, a somewhat lesser club than Liverpool, with less expectation, less riding on his shoulders, less pressure maybe, then maybe he could thrive. And I think especially in a different league as well, especially when you consider what Serie A is right now and what La Liga is right now, I think the less intense and less kind of scrutiny he'll get from like the media and places like that may actually ease the pressure on his shoulders, and he may begin to thrive in different places and different environments like that. Especially when you consider that, you know, Napoli have taken someone like Scott McTominay, for example, and made him a champion, and obviously we've seen plenty of players go to Spain and absolutely kill it over there as well. So I genuinely think this could be the best move for Darwin Nunez wherever he goes. If Liverpool can recoup a big fee for him, then obviously it will work out for them as well. And of course for the team that captures him wanting a striker, obviously it will work out for them as well. So we are obviously waiting to see what does happen with the Uruguayan striker. Will it be a big money move to Saudi? Will it be a move to a different European club? We'll wait and see on that. But yeah, it's unfortunate the way that things haven't quite panned out for Darwin Nunez. But at the same time, like I say, we all knew this was coming. I can't go through another year of inconsistency. Yes, he will pop up every now and again with a big match-winning performance. We've seen it a couple of times this season against the likes of, I think, Aston Villa and Southampton, and of course the incredible scenes against Brentford as a prime example. But you know, for your big money record signing, you kind of hope for more. You want more, you demand more, and we haven't exactly got that from the Uruguayan striker. So maybe a move will do Liverpool the world of good. It will probably do Darwin Nunez even more so, the universal good as well. So unfortunate, but yes, I think his time is up at Liverpool. And then of course we come on to a certain Ibrahima Konate. Now, this one's a bit more different because whilst he's an incredible player, whilst he is still in red hot form, and whilst his injuries have somewhat dried up a little bit this season, not completely, but they've eased up a little in comparison to previous seasons. The thing that is concerning about this is that obviously reports have emerged in recent days that Real Madrid are planning another swoop for a soon-to-be out-of-contract Liverpool player. And I've said time and time again that we all know that Ibrahima Konate is entering the final year of his Liverpool current contract. And I don't want, personally, for me, I don't want another will he sign, won't he sign saga. We've had it for the past year or so with Mo Salah, with Virgil van Dijk, and of course with Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it seems that Real Madrid are now sniffing around another player who is going to be out of contract very soon with the club. Now, we know that Real Madrid are looking to strengthen up their defensive options. And let's face it, with a certain Trent there, you will definitely need to do that. And of course, with Konate being out of contract next summer, makes sense that he is one of the best centre-backs in world football for his age and for his experience right now. One of the best. Not the best, but one of the best. Of course, he's already got that relationship with Trent anyway. He's already used to covering for Trent a lot. But it's obvious, like, why they would be sniffing around, why they would be linked with him. Again, it's seemingly the way that Real Madrid now seemingly operate. they seemingly sniff around players that have got 1 or 2 years left on their current deal, and they just go, hey, rather than re-sign, why don't you earn a big signing bonus, and then we'll snap you up for free, or as free a transfer as you can get in the modern day game. That is seemingly what Real Madrid and their strategy seemingly is right now. That's why we've seen it with Trent these past few years, it seems. And now they are seemingly doing the same with Konate. And whilst it is annoying and frustrating, there is absolutely nothing anybody can do about it unless Liverpool decide to cash in on him whilst they have the opportunity to do so, rather than be seemingly led on like they seemingly were in the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation. Konate is a beast of a footballer. There's no doubt about it. He's absolutely brilliant in my opinion. He's built quite the relationship with Van Dijk over the past few years or so. And it'll be a shame to see him leave. But like I say, I am not going to put myself through another year of a big player at Liverpool going through this whole sort of saga of, will he sign a new contract? Will he leave at the end of his current contract on a free transfer? I'm not prepared to go through that. So if I was Liverpool Football Club, I'd put a time limit on. I'd go, you have 2, 3, 4 weeks at max to decide what you want to do. And if you are not negotiating properly with us about a new contract, if you are not seemingly fully on board with signing a new contract with the club, then we will look to move you on and get you out of here. May seem harsh. It may seem harsh, obviously, from a player's point of view or from the fans' point of view of a player that they may really, really like. But like I say, I'm personally not prepared to go through this whole saga again this season. I'm fully on the side of, if you're fully committed to the club, you will either sign a new deal, unless of course you are not exactly getting any younger, kind of like your Andy Robertson, early to mid 30s, and looking to move on, and that's fine. That's fine. But for a player like Konate, with the age he's currently at, with obviously everything that he currently possesses, it's more frustrating, especially when we can cash out on him now, still get a decent fee for him whilst we have the opportunity to do so. Real Madrid are like that pesky wasp that just simply will not go away and are just ready to sting you at the most opportune moment for him. It's frustrating, it's annoying, but there's absolutely nothing we can do about it, because again, we've kind of dug this hole for ourselves with this current situation. Konate, for me, like I say, time limit it. 2, 3, 4 weeks. You haven't decided what you're doing, you're out the door. That would be personally it for me on the Konate situation. But it does seem that Real Madrid are once again sniffing around yet another Liverpool player. And there you have it as far as what these three are concerned. Look, there's going to be more, of course, there's going to be more. There's probably going to be a fair few more exits than this in terms of Liverpool players. We already know that Harvey Elliott is obviously potentially on the verge of leaving Liverpool this summer. There is also 1 or 2 other players. We've mentioned Kostas Tsimikas as prime example. Diogo Jota's future seems a bit up in the air as well. Luis Diaz's future is up in the air as well. Joe Gomez, Jero Kwanzaa. There are going to be some other players that may have their futures up in the air. We're going to talk about it obviously later on, if or when these stories have a bit more weight behind them. But of course, these are the 3 that have seemingly broke over the weekend and obviously keep on developing. We're going to obviously try and keep more. So we're going to obviously discuss more of Liverpool and more of the transfer activity that is going on at the club. But these 3 I thought were worth talking about in today's video. And of course, that means that these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think though. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in the comments section. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on these stories. Would love to hear from you all. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.